Just before evening, God saw that it was good. God saw that it was good. Then it was evening. And now God has blessed us with another new day. This is the Reverend Dr. Laverne Corrine, Williams Foster Hall, Harvey Brown Fontaine Turner, Hill Holt McCain Cash. John chapter 19, verses 28 through 42. The death of Jesus and the burial of Jesus. Later, knowing that all was now completed, and so that the scriptures would be fulfilled, Jesus said, I am thirsty. A jar of wine vinegar was there, so they soaked a sponge in it, put the sponge on a stalk of the hyssop plant, and lifted it to Jesus' lips. When he had received the drink, Jesus said, It is finished. With that, he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. Now it was the day of preparation, and the next day was to be a special Sabbath, because the Jews did not want the bodies left on the crosses during the Sabbath. They asked Pilate to have the legs broken and the bodies taken down. The soldiers therefore came and broke the legs of the first man who had been crucified with Jesus, and then those of the other. But when they came to Jesus and found that he was already dead, they did not break his legs. Instead, one of the soldiers pierced Jesus' side with a spear, bringing a sudden flow of blood and water. The man who saw it had given testimony, and his testimony is true. He knows that he tells the truth, and he testifies so that you also may believe. These things happened so that the scriptures would be fulfilled. Not one of his bones will be broken. And as another scripture says, they will look on the one they have pierced. The burial of Jesus. Later, Joseph of Arimathea asked Pilate for the body of Jesus. Now, Joseph was a disciple of Jesus, but secretly because he feared the Jews. With Pilate's permission, he came back and took the body away. He was accompanied by Nicodemus, the man who earlier had visited Jesus at night. Nicodemus brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 75 pounds. Taking Jesus' body, the two of them wrapped it with the spices in strips of linen. This was in accordance with Jewish burial customs. At the place where Jesus was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new tomb, in which no one had ever been laid. Because it was the Jewish day of preparation, and since the tomb was nearby, they laid Jesus there. They laid Jesus there. So, embraced within the palms of my prayers until just before evening, pondering, I shall continue to ponder these words. And as I ponder these words, I will also continue to follow Jesus. So that, yes, just before evening, God will see that it is good. This is the Reverend Dr. Laverne Corrine, Williams Foster Hall, Harvey Brown Fontaine Turner, Hill Holt McCain Cash. Pondering the words that I just read about the crucifixion and the burial. Now I will get up and go on out as I ponder and follow Jesus. Come and go with me